Ever wondered what it takes to make, market, and distribute skincare products that really deliver? Well, we've been doing it for over 5 years. And today we're going to start separating the facts from the fads with special guest Justin Oliveira. Hey, Justin, welcome.
Hey,
On today's episode, we're going to be covering creator reactions. We're going to be talking about all of the partnerships that we've done at Geologie. Why don't you just tell everyone a little bit about yourself and who you are?
yeah. Hi, I'm Justin. I've been with Geology for I think over 4 years now. And really kind of dabbled in a lot of everything we do, from our paid advertisement side to our influencers. Really, kind of everything across the board.
Yeah,
So
I think you can fairly say that if you're seeing content from Geology, it is oftentimes actually the voice of Justin or myself
yeah,
in many cases. And it's been that way for quite a lot of years. I'd say we've had a lot of ideas. We've talked to, wow, I think we've done and executed on potentially over 500 unique partnerships.
yeah.
Um, just kind of crazy. So, looking back, what do you think makes our partnerships successful and such a big part of who we are as a brand?
I I really think it comes down to our uniqueness. It's really our uniqueness to adapt with the creators that we regularly execute with, that not many people tend to do. I mean, the stereotypical reads that you see, it's, hey, here are the guidelines you have to follow. Here are, all of that, and it's strict. We're more adaptable and fun, and find the uniqueness of the, why people tune into that creator, and how can we blend that together.
I know when agencies come to us and they're always like, "Oh, what kind of brand restrictions do you have?" Like, how do you like to work with creators? And we're like, we want them to do whatever the fuck they want to
Yeah,
do.
and it's really, we've that's where we've seen the success, is just allowing them, like, "Hey, you wanna have fun? So do we." And that's what,
Yeah.
like, I feel like when you look at all these other creators and these other, you know, um, you know, not just agencies, but partnerships, you see a lot of it, it's stagnant. And I think that's because they have those guidelines, rather than, you know, taking what that audience loves about that creator and just building into our fun. It really, you see that excel.
Yeah, I think that's like a key point, right? Like in terms of like when we look at success, right? It's just about getting that authenticity, right? And
Mhm.
that comes so differently, right? Like today we're going to look at some partnerships that we've done with Jaden Williams, with Semi Stupid. We're going to look at Joseph's Machine. We're going to look at Tia Blanco. And these partnerships are all very different in a lot of different ways. And we're going to look at some sponsored ad reads as well, which is a big part of um, the Geology voice. And one thing you're going to see is that like each person is authentic to the products that they love and to like what they want to say. Of course, we want to like cover off, on specific things that are going to help people understand the benefits of Geology and who
Yeah.
we are as a brand. And we want these partnerships to have brand recall. But ultimately, as you go through each of these, what you're going to see is that creator's best of the best come through, right?
Yeah.
Regardless. So, with that being said, how do you go about identifying, the partners that we want to work with?
I think it's really selfish to say. A lot of it started with content I like. It's people who can make me laugh, who make me interested in what they're selling, in a sense. And I think that's really how it started. Is going after just content creators I followed, and then it kind of branched from there. But I think the biggest thing that I look for, in terms of, regardless of who that creator is how they engage with their audience. I think that has been one of the biggest differentiator factors that we've seen, is that the more engaged with they are with their audience, whether it's having fun, jokes, you know, however that is, they have a Discord channel, they're just more up on YouTube. When they have that engagement level, it just it stands out to that creator. So then when we tie kind of everything we said in the beginning with a highly engaged creator with his audience, it's just that perfect combination that allows us to the content to shine, as you'll see with some of these. I mean, it starts with, hey, here's a funny idea, and then just that snowball effect of where it goes. That's what you see in a lot of these, and it's them genuinely not just having to read a script, but like talk about what they enjoy about the products and how it's fun to them.
hmm I think like I don't know if I like seeing more when the creator comes to us with an idea or like we give them an idea and then like they bring it to life in like the best way that they
Yeah,
know, right? And we're gonna look specifically, I think, at both sides of that, right? Like this
yeah,
first video that we're gonna look at, which was Jaden Williams did normal marketing. I mean, we're laughing already. And I
yeah,
think it's funny because you also say, like, we always think about, like, how is their audience going to engage? And, like, it's so different with different creators, but also it's different based on, like, the type of content, right? Like,
yeah,
Jaden's audience is so amazing. This video has 20 million views.
yeah.
You know,
Wow.
and it was his idea. I'll give him
Yeah,
100%
one hundred
credit.
percent.
This one came from him. And I think this video, I'd have to go look at the specifics on YouTube, but I'm pretty sure it has almost 2,000 comments. And like not only comments on his videos, but like people will come to our social channels and they'll post comments based on this video and they'll be like, would Jaden do this in their
Yeah.
marketing? Which is like, I think the sign of like great brand marketing. It's great success from that standpoint. And like later, we'll talk more about sponsored reads and what makes more of a performance partnership work. But
Mhm.
I think we start with the fun stuff here and we go with the
Absolutely.
Jaden video. I mean, I think this one's really funny. Remember when we did the Matt Meager, the MMG on, and we tried to take it off of his YouTube channel and onto Twitter, and like
Yeah.
everyone just like called him out for being a
Yeah.
sellout.
Yeah, but that's like going back to like that how do we identify partners and like the way they engage, he thrived in that.
He
Like
did.
absolutely getting my bag, like he just fed into that. And I think that's what makes it unique. Like it's, with the Jaden comments, like you said, we constantly get like when is episode 2, when is episode 3, like when's the next part of the
hmm
marketing. People look forward to that, but when we, tried a similar strategy with MMG, people just trashed it, but like not in a negative way. It was almost like that's how he thrives off his audience and going back at him. And like so it worked in a weird way.
Yeah. At first, I was like, "Whoa,
Oh
wait,
yeah.
wait," and then like we're talking to him, and he's like, "Yeah, like we're just having fun," and I'm like, "All right."
Yeah. Because some were brutal. Like first few comments, I'm like, oh my god.
All right, let's see. This is the first time we'll be doing a live sharing of any content on the podcast. So let's see if this works here. This was a video we did with Jaden. This might have been, was this our very first video? No, I feel like we
No,
did other things with
I
him.
thought we did one. This was like I'd say the first big I thought big planned video. Because
Yeah.
this was one of the first ideas that he threw around, but it took a while to build and develop it. But I think
hmm
this was like the first big where we were like, man, he is so talented.
Yeah. We love working with him. Particularly, we have an amazing acne line, which will have some really amazing new products coming to the collection in 2025 that we're super excited about. And that acne line called Clear System, is a really good fit to Jaden's audience.
Yep.
So that's particularly what we were focused on here. I think that was pretty much the only guidelines that we
Yeah.
gave him. And he
Yeah.
came up with this idea. So let's go ahead and play it, and then you can get our reactions.
No, 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 not again. again.
You don't like it.
I'm sick and tired of these pointless promos that don't promote our product at all.
That video has 7 million views.
Are you kidding?
Here's another.
I tried to, but he made me to stay. I'm not staying, I just wanna play.
12 million views.
This can't be! How? What happened to normal marketing? Why aren't we promoting our Geologie bundle builder for skin, hair, and body products? Buy more, save more. I thought that rhymed well.
Well, it's the same word. Give us one more chance to impress you.
But it is hope for what's up. Every good girl.
You gotta be...
57 million views.
How?
I think this is still our actual CEO's reaction every time he sees this video.
Yeah.
And we say, how many views does that Jaden video have? And we're like, 20 million views.
Yeah.
Like, oh.
I think honestly what I loved so much about that video is just from the marketing side of like you when you see these trends pop up on TikTok and you're just there's certain times where you honestly have that like how in the hell does it have that like and just to encompass that it's he captured it to a T. Like honestly when he sent that video I was like he's had to work in the, like that marketing scene like that's instant as a marketer. I got those vibes of like that is the exact reaction when there's like a new TikTok dance, new trend that pops up. You're just like, how?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that video has 20 million views. We haven't put a dollar, not a single dollar behind sponsoring for promoting that video. And like I said, 1,600, I think, plus comments.
Yeah.
That was after the success of that. We actually did two more that he did. And there's nothing better to me when I open up a draft of a video I need to approve and like I leave the review of the draft just crying. You know? I'm like, okay, like get this out there because this is gold.
Yeah, when you don't even have to change anything. It's honestly like just that's when I first read through this, I like to that point I was in tears. I was like, this is hilarious. And to see the reaction that it got, because my one concern with this video was, like I said, I approached it from a marketer perspective of like that ridiculousness. That's why I attached to it. And I was like, are other people going to find that kind of humorous? And it clearly was. So
yeah. So what's your favorite partnership that we've done all time? Let me see if I have it in our library and can pull it up.
Man. In terms of it, I've liked them all for kind of different purposes, depending on what that partnership is been from. I told you a while back, destroying some of the stuff that we did with him was absolutely hilarious to, more of the nerd side that I love, like My Name is Life on some of the Destiny videos with the lore. But like in terms of always home runs, it's got to be semi-stupid. It's his videos are just when we sit down and get to talk with him and that back and forth of just that creativity, he is truly a hilarious person. Like we leave those meetings just laughing from just talking. Like it is truly I'd have to lean towards those because we come up with the most random ideas and he legitimately takes them to another.
Yeah, I remember for the very last idea, we were running this promotion that we're internally referring to as Marga, Make Auto Refill Great Again. And the way we're doing that is we are bringing and reactivating customers by giving them just significantly more value when they come back. And it's basically giving them a full-size set for the price of a trial set. And we had a call with Semi-Stupid, his name is David, and we were like, how do we, go about this? And he's like, what if we just kind of like do some kind of concept around the fact that it's like bigger? So we left the call and like, I just got this idea of like him measuring the product where it looked like he was measuring himself.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember sending you, I think, a draft of the email. And I'm like, is this like, I'm like, can we even send this? We should like put the email out publicly because it's so funny. I'm like, David, what do you think about the video starts with you measuring yourself?
Yeah.
And Greg comes in, and then that was it. But that was all we gave him. And then he turned it to gold. Like when I opened up that draft of that video the first time that he sent it to me after, and he was standing there pantsless,
Yeah. Oh my God.
like I died. I just
Yeah.
absolutely died. And it's like, if you and I are just dying at it and it gets executed, to
Yeah.
that level. And Shower Caddy, I think, is another example. He just took an idea. And this video that we're about to show was another one of those. I think, we were truly scratching our heads, right?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah.
about an idea. And, we were probably both wearing dark clothes like we are
Yeah.
now.
Oh
And
yeah. I
we
mean,
were
yeah,
like,
constantly.
why do we use our co-wash? Like we're both, you can take off your hat for a second,
Yep.
but
Both.
we're
Yeah.
both bald men.
Talk the same.
And, Nick and Dave, who have hair,
Yeah.
they love our co-wash, right? They're like, it's moisturizing. It's so great for your scalp.
Yeah.
My hair looks good every day. I don't have to wash. They're like
I
all
know.
the reasons they developed the product. And,
People with hair problems.
you and I are like, great guys. Like,
Yeah.
what about us bald guys?
Yeah.
So we're scratching our heads. And I was like, I don't think I had used the co-wash yet, or it was like early on.
Yeah.
And my beard was like flaking. And I was like, And then I started using the co-wash in my beard instead of shampoo, which was like drying out my skin.
Yeah.
And boom, the idea came about for this video. And I'm pretty sure all we said was, have you ever tried to? I think we like actually just brought it up authentically.
Yeah. It
And
was.
we were
It
like,
was
have you ever
more
tried
of.
to use our co-wash for your beard?
Yeah.
And he was like, oh yeah, like I love it. Like my beard is so soft and smooth and doesn't flake. And we're like, that's the concept.
Yeah. It was. Yeah. That one was very organic. I think it was truly.
All right, let me bring it
All
up
right.
here. A little premature,
No, it's all good.
just like David usually is.
Yeah.
What were you gonna say, Justin? Before I?
Oh no, I just gonna honestly say like that's how it happened. I think he mentioned like his beard itched, or like it literally was that bled into this. Like it was truly something as simple as like, yeah, I got little itchy flakes, and then boom, like his genius behind kind of this whole concept.
Yeah, and one thing I love about his videos is we always develop like the concept in the beginning of the story. So like when you get a draft, you're like, okay, I know what's coming,
Mm.
but like you don't. Like
No, not at all.
Like right around like the 10-second mark in every video he sends me, I'm like, it's always a surprise, right?
Yeah.
And not once. I really don't think. Maybe unless he got like an offer wrong or a deal wrong, and even then we'll just be like, "Yo, put it out anyway."
Yeah, it's fine.
But like, there's almost never a time where we have to make edits to it. So
Oh.
I'm going to go ahead and play this, and you can
All
watch our reactions. Even though we've seen these probably 10 times, I think, if
Probably
not
well
more.
over. I mean, honestly, I've watched these a ton.
All right, here we go.
Long story short, my parents sent me an email, said they didn't love me anymore. Dude, can you stop scratching your beard? You're getting dandruff everywhere. What? God, man. Hey, I made you some toast. Thanks, I guess. But why'd you put Parmesan cheese on it? We don't have Parmesan cheese. Oh man, gross, dude. Oh my God, it's snowing. Really? Oh man! Hey, heads up. I got you this co-wash by Geologie. It'll stop that itching and irritation you have and get rid of your beard druff. Cool? Since I got rid of my beard flakes, I got my confidence back. I decided to go back to school and now I'm an astronaut. Thanks, Geologie.
Yeah, like that's the thing. Like how you said, we knew some of those parts in there, but like the astronaut thing at the end, like just so random. But
Like, I want to smoke what he's smoking. That's for
yeah,
sure.
it's honestly, and that's we've talked about this too. Is a lot of our products that we use internally, we use them differently than like what you would like.
Yeah.
I use it as like whenever my beard's a little bit longer. It's so nice. I actually use it on my bald head because it helps. I have like a form of like eczema or just dry skin essentially on my head that it helps with that. Like I love the co-wash. It's one of my favorite products.
I've definitely established my own set of routine for our products,
Mm,
both morning, night with the co-wash. Pretty much everyone who comes and has worked or works for Geology, they have their own routines, and I think like our partners have their own routines as well. And a lot of
yeah,
times we talk to them and we get surprising answers, right? I think we interviewed, or it was during maybe a podcast sponsorship, and I forgot it was one of the UFC fighters. I forgot who it was, and his read was like, "I normally just wash my face with a hose or something,"
yeah. That's yeah.
and
And
he was
I
being serious. He was being
yes,
dead
that's
serious.
the thing. Yeah, like that wasn't a funny little pun for the read. He was like, I seriously after the gym, I just kind of like
Use a
hose my
hose.
face down.
And he's like, and now I use this product and I love it. He's like, it smells good, it lathers really well. I'm like, I'm feeling really clean. And we've actually heard this from multiple fighters. We worked with Kai Wu for a while, who's
Yeah,
I think one of my favorite partners, just because his level of authenticity is like so real.
yeah.
And again, like he also just brings us so many surprises. Like that time that I mean, like he came to us and he was like, "Oh, I'm training Mark Zuckerberg."
Yeah.
And we were like, I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
But he
Have you?
was. And
have-
actually, like, I definitely would have put my money on Mark over Elon, that's for sure, knowing
Oh,
that even though
absolutely.
Elon has probably like 100-pound weight advantage,
Yeah.
um,
It
yeah,
doesn't
Mark
matter
would
in
have
the
whooped his ass.
jujitsu. I think he was doing, but yeah, that's what I mean. We were trying to get Kaiwu to hey, just slip some in his bag, in
Hmm.
geology. Push it to Zuckerberg.
Why don't we switch a little bit in terms of, the tone
Mm,
and take a look here at some reactions, like on top of obviously humorous videos, which we do for brand awareness and brand recall and engagement, just let people kind of know who we are. I think we've also done a lot of partnerships in this area that, as you said, are in gaming, right? For instance, we did the Geology Cup. We can play the teaser for that, but like a lot of times we're doing reads from influencers or creators, and it's about really capturing exactly who they are. So I've got two queued up here.
mm,
One who's a female creator that we worked with for quite some time. And again, came from a passion of a lot of us. Myself, I love to surf, and this is somebody that I was following and myself, and I thought would be a really good for as we moved from a male-focused brand to unisex.
mm.
But it's Tia Blanco. So let me bring this up and play it, and let's get your thoughts.
I love the music.
So I have to say, when we talked to her, and she did other stuff, she really enjoyed using our SPF product,
Yeah.
particularly also our co-wash. She's got really long hair and, is oftentimes surfing in the salt water, it dries
Mm,
out. She needs to be able to use a low detergent on her hair. But one thing that we did not know about her when we started the partnership was that she was painting.
yeah.
Um, and, it was something that we had talked about is like, how do we just tap into the things that you love, right? Outside of the product. And she was like, what if I painted a mural,
Yeah.
which now sits at our co-founder's house, Dave. I'm always jealous that he's the one who took it.
Yeah, I know.
That he
Because
put it on my wall behind me, but
it's always
um,
in all the meetings. It's right behind him. See it. You can
yeah.
see it in the corner. So
And I can't even tell you how many meetings I've been in with Dave where that becomes the topic of conversation. In fact, I
yeah.
was in a call with Dr. Steve the
Mm,
other day, and Dr. Steve was like, "Can I get like a poster?" He was like, "Can I get a poster like that for my office?" And I was like, "Steve, let me tell you a story. That's actually not a poster.
yeah.
Um, it's from a very famous surfer who um, won the reality show,
The
and
top
also
surfer. Yeah.
yeah,
Something like that.
and she painted that amazing. I'd say it's good,
Yeah.
Definitely, she has way better stuff, I'll be honest. Um, her paintings are amazing of waterfalls and dolphins and nature and all the things that she loves. Probably the first time she's ever painted a sunscreen, though. So,
Yeah, I could probably. I would. I'd say it's safe to say that she's probably the only time she's painted the sun.
yeah,
So,
probably.
it's one of a kind right there.
It is definitely a one of one.
Yeah.
So, um, Dave will be the lucky owner of that for probably quite some time, and we can certainly cherish that. And maybe we can do if there's any other artists listening,
Yeah.
there's been some ideas that we've thrown around internally around some partnerships with artists that we've wanted to do. I know there's lots of products that can have an aesthetic, particularly in bathrooms. And we would love to work with an artist. If you're an artist and you're listening, hit us up because maybe we can do a partnership together.
Yeah, yeah. Even abstract. I mean, have some fun with it.
Yeah.
It could be a blast.
Justin, I know this next one is one of your favorite creators that we've worked with.
Yeah.
I believe we've been sponsoring his channel. Man, we might have been sponsoring him before you even started. He's been using the products for at least 4 years.
Yeah, I think we started with him probably my first year here
Mhm.
is when we might have done like one off with him, but then we kind of established, got our reads on point, all of that, and it's been just hit the ground running since.
Yeah, I would say in terms of authenticity, this guy, Major Kill, he and like if you actually want, this is one of the first videos I think we did with him, and you look at him today versus then. I mean,
Yeah.
like he was on camera, he had oily skin, right? He would break out from time to time. We would actually talk about this with him early on in the days, and well, we don't have to talk about that with him anymore because I think like if you want proof in the pudding, like this is a partnership that like of a guy just like Matt Meager who just uses our product, Devin on deck. I mean, and you know as well as I know, this is our process. We find the creators we want to work with. They try to give us a quote, right? They want their money, of course.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
we say, no, hold up. We're going to send you product. We want you to try that product. Take the personalized quiz. We want to learn about your skin, what concerns you have, what needs you have. We want to treat you basically like a new customer.
Yeah.
Right? Send them that product. And what I always find surprising is like Matt Meeker, his favorite product, you know what? I'm watching his.
Matt Meager, face wash?
No, eye cream. The eye cream.
Ooh.
Yeah. Probably because he games all night and he doesn't sleep.
Gotta keep them bags.
That's his favorite product. And you'll notice in almost every read, not everyone, even though we don't ask for him to talk about that, it comes up. And Major Kill, same thing. This is a guy who loves our product. He brings the nature of his channel and engages with his community. And I have to thank him for the long partnership we've had and all of the killer reads. I'm going to go ahead and play this one.
You work out, you do your hair, you shave your neck beard, all to look good. But do you take care of your skin? Today I'm giving you a shortcut with the help of Geologie. Geologie is a product and service where you basically fill out a quick survey talking about your skin type, your skin goals and stuff like that. Then once you fill it out, it'll show you a custom skincare routine tailored to your needs. For example, I live in Australia, which is missing its ozone layer, so I needed a good moisturizer which doubled as a sunscreen. My skin is smoother, less blotchy, holds a tan for longer, and it will look like this for decades, all because I use a skincare routine.
Probably look better than that for decades from what we're seeing.
And that's what, honestly, with Major Kill, when you watch, like, I think he's one of the ones, like you mentioned, you watch our first few videos with him, so, like, what he looks like now, and he's consistent, like, every time we talk with him, he's like, I haven't stopped using the products because look at the difference, like, night and day. And similar to, like, an MMG, I mean, they're gamers. They're putting out tons of videos, tons of content. They're streaming. They put in work. And so, like, for him to, like, his skin is honestly one of the ones from our creators that it was, you could see even there, you could kind of see the oiliness.
Yeah,
It's drastically changed for
that was one of his first reads with us.
yeah.
And yeah, he definitely looks better now than he
Mm,
looked then. And I think that's like part of what's rewarding about, what we do. And, it's one of the reasons I'm just so excited about the future of Clear System next
yeah.
year. I mean, we've been working on this behind the scenes, and hopefully we get some really great partnerships that come out of that. I know that this past year with Blemish Buster Kit, we had some really good ones where
Yeah.
we found some new partners. But definitely looking for that, coming into next year.
Yeah,
Um,
I think especially because there too, with like the clear system and everything that's coming, is what it goes back to is actually like helping people. I mean, when you have
mhm.
bad skin or you struggle with stuff, it's tough. I mean, it really is. And so like these creators aren't exempt of it. I mean, they suffer with things like we all do. And so to truly see someone who, I think Major Kill is one of the ones who actually reached out to us and just said, "Hey, can I try your product because like, I have bad skin." Like
Yeah,
he was looking to just better his skin, and it just worked out. But it's truly, that's excited with what's coming ahead with Clear System is it's products that help you. I mean, when it boils down to it, that's rewarding.
yeah. I love to look at some of the creators we work with, particularly ones of a long time, like Major Kill,
Yeah,
and look at their product order history with us,
yeah,
and you're like, wow, this guy's got like 30 orders,
yeah. He's
like
probably up there. Yeah,
he's using the product because one, he looks good,
yeah,
and two, he's got 30 orders. Unless
yeah,
he's just like tossing it, in the garbage after every read.
yeah.
Um, but it's
No,
nice to definitely see that. I like to do the humorous partnerships. I like to do the ones like you said, where we're finding YouTube channels that we watch, right? I mean,
mhm,
we've done a lot around cocktails, right? And
yeah,
making drinks around food. These are like some of our passions. When I go skiing, I bring our product. A lot of the products you see in our organic social come from vacations that
yeah,
we've taken. You and I are both into gaming. Dave is into gaming. A
yeah,
lot of our male audience is into gaming. I think we've done so much gaming partnerships. When Google actually provided us demos of men that use skincare, there was like a 6x correlation between gaming and male skincare use, which we found to be pretty exciting.
yeah,
Um, but one thing that we don't do enough of, and maybe because it's harder, but it's the types of partnerships that are events, right?
yeah,
And I think we always try to capture something or do these events in a way that I think is very different. The one event we did, we actually raised over $20,000.
yeah.
In fact, might be
I
millions
was
if they just held on to the
I
Bitcoin that we
I
raised,
I was
because
gonna
at the time
say
we
it.
did it 3 years ago,
Yeah,
Bitcoin was what, like 20,000,
yeah.
and now Bitcoin's like 100,000.
It
So,
might.
but Project Sanctuary was recommended to us. We have a large military audience,
Mm,
and I had some friends. You and I spend a good amount of time in Discord, and I had some friends from an NFT, which you know, sad, a little sad to see what happens with that art, but
yeah,
whatever. Um, but we had some friends over at Booze Bears, and they had some friends at Project Sanctuary, and we decided that we were going to put together a geology metaverse, right? Which we built by hand,
yeah,
which was fun.
yeah.
And
I've
then they designed an NFT of Booze Bears that were specific to geology with 5 one-of-ones.
mm,
Put that out to their audience, and we actually raised about 20,000 cryptocurrency for Project Sanctuary with that
yeah,
promo. Was a very fun partnership, very different. Definitely got some news, surprisingly, from like Glossy, or
yeah.
I was shocked when like
Yeah,
who covered it, because I expected like GQ, Men's Health,
yeah,
like where were they? You
yeah.
know,
Or even the
like
tech. I
Glossy
think we were
covered
going
it.
for a few of like the tech as well. Like, hey, this is
Yeah,
kind of a cool mashup, and yeah, Glossier.
yeah, Glossy covered it. Like, okay, but thank you,
All right.
Glossy, for noticing.
Yeah,
Um, but the other one that we did, and I have a friend Tommy. I used to live in Italy, and my friend Tommy was doing a lot of game design, right? And they were putting on a lot of virtual events. He is a motorcycle racer. Italians are very into car racing, and it was always our dream, actually Dave's dream. He wants to cover a NASCAR car. And what I did
That would
not
be
know,
sweet. Yeah.
what I did not know, I mean, awesome. I would
Yeah.
love to do it one
Yeah.
day, you know. But what I did not know about this is like, it costs a lot of money. Yeah, you know how much money it was? Do you recall?
No, I don't, but I'm assuming a lot.
Like a million, like a million plus, basically. If you want to,
I mean, that makes
spin
sense.
a NASCAR car, wrap, right? Wrap.
Yeah.
NASCAR?
Yeah, I think it's a
It's
wrap.
about a million. That's my gaming speak coming out, right? You skin like something in digital. But it's about $1 million, right? So unfortunately, we could not do that, but we still wanted to. And my friend Tommy said, "Oh, did you guys know that in this game you could actually you could design your own wraps for cars?" And I know these guys who have been putting on competitions, and we were like, "Okay, let's do this. This has got to be the only time a brand has probably ever done this. Maybe one of my favorite partnerships, which
Yeah.
did not get the level of visibility, only got the visibility from that very niche community, and they
Yeah.
loved it. I mean,
Absolutely. Yeah.
I think the very first race had over 1,000 live viewers, which was
Yeah.
pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I did not know this in the space, but the driver who entered the competition was just so good
That
that
no one can beat him.
after the first race, he was so far ahead that like other racers couldn't even catch him, which I guess happens in sports, right?
Yeah.
But I'm going to play the
Yeah.
teaser from it in case you haven't seen it. Pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I learned a few things from that partnership, Justin. I learned I'm terrible at race car games.
Oh, yeah. Like real ones. Yeah. Like give me Mario Kart. I can handle that. But like when
Yeah.
you actually have to time your corner. Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I'm not all about
impossible.
that.
All of the footage we had to shoot for the trailer, because obviously we had to shoot it in advance.
Yeah.
I actually went to Tommy's office. He works for an amazing company that he started there called Cola Studios.
Hmm.
And we just spent like 4 hours just playing the
Hmm.
game with and checking out the car wraps that we did. And
Yeah.
like I realized I was like, I can't keep like we kept having to like reset and reshoot right at the very beginning of each race because
Yeah.
like my car and then like he just like had to like call in his friends who could like keep up with him. Because like otherwise like all the shots were like Tommy's car and then like my car like way in the
Super
distance.
far back.
Yeah.
This is not for
Um,
me. Yeah, one thing that was honestly probably one of my favorite things that we've done. Just because the community members, the people that we got to chat with and chat while we were doing these events, and then what that led to. I think that was our first kind of okay, we're a skincare brand that likes to have fun. We're gamers at heart, a lot of us, like you said, Steven, and we're like, we're gonna do this. And I think that was kind of our first step forward into that gaming industry, which then when we started to reach out to a lot of gaming creators, which a lot have not worked with skincare, ever used skincare,
mhm.
was kind of foreign to them. When we were like, look at this event we did. And like you said, it might not have gotten a lot of, uh publicity or anything of that nature, but I think that helped catapult us into like, we're not just messing around here. Like this is something true to like our core that we love, and it gave us a lot of credibility in I think the gaming realm.
hmm We'll definitely have to come up with some more events like this.
Yeah.
I think the last one we did, which was really fun, we are a remote team, and we use a digital remote office called Kumo Space occasionally. And we put on a virtual, it was a Halloween party and haunted house. And then actually, I know Devin, we basically had separate booze bears were there. We invited a bunch of creators, if you remember, and they each had a podcast studio in the remote office. And then we invited some press to that event as well.
Yeah.
And that was pretty fun. That was the last one we did. I think that was last Halloween. But we'll have to plan something for next year for sure.
Yeah, because that went a lot better than we expected. Because like I know David, semi stupid, he was in there. We were chilling in the room with him, so just joking around. Yeah, Devin had his own space. He talked to Dr. Steve. He had his own space. Like it was super cool. Just getting all the different vibes. The setup was amazing of the haunted house. Like he had little jokes in there with the skincare stuff tied in. It was a blast.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that one, but maybe not as much as this last video I have for our viewers today. This was one, man, I don't even know how this one came about, to be honest. I think we were just looking to make a big splash, and he might have reached out to us, and we watched one of his videos, and we were like, yes, we need to do this. I mean, so I'm just going to go ahead and play it. I think it's a kind of a long video, I think, in full. I don't know which version I have. We might have a short version of it.
Because I think the main version's pretty. I mean, it's not super long, but it's.
Yeah, I mean, it's worth watching. If you've never seen this video, it's from a amazing creator. His name is Joseph's Machine. He's been on a bunch of late night TV shows, and he built a machine for us. And here it is. No. Looks like it might be.
Perfect. A huge thank you to Geologie for making this video possible. They make all the skin, hair, and body products you saw in this machine.
All right.
Oh man.
What's interesting about that video is it's actually like we use it for how to use our products. So, but what's funny is, what he didn't know is our products, they go a really long way, right? And I think like this machine definitely overuses them. But you really only need a very small amount. And also the co-wash, definitely have to rinse that out of your hair. Watering yourself like a plant.
I was going to say, I don't think that's enough.
Doesn't work.
Yeah.
So, well, Justin, thanks for coming and reacting to all of these amazing creator videos that you've helped me put together over the years with the help of all of our partners. I hope that we could come and showcase a whole new set of these next year. This is, I think, 5. What did we show? 5 today? I mean, 5 of over 500, right?
Yeah.
So If you're watching and want more videos, head to the Geologie's YouTube, where you're probably watching this podcast, because I don't think it's anywhere else. And take a look at some of those other ones, or definitely shoot us, our customer service agents, a message if you're looking for more funny stuff, and we'll point you in the direction of where you can find any of those. So thanks for joining me. On next Big Derm Energy podcast, I'm going to bring Dr. Steve back, and we're going to talk a little bit about oily skin. I think, were you on some of the calls we originally discussed oily skin with Steve?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah.
It's going to be a really interesting episode.
Yeah.
I know that I learned a lot from Steve about oily skin and dry skin, but particularly the one thing that he told us is that like moisturizing is the best way to fight oily skin, which was like, now that I know, I'm like, oh yeah, of course.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But at the time, I did not know this, and I still think a lot of guys do not. It seems almost counterintuitive, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm going to put, a face cream on that moisturizes my skin, and that's going to help reduce the oil production that my skin has. But we're going to talk about that with Dr. Steve, and I hope it'll be a good episode. So come back and join that. And thank you, Justin, for your time.
Yeah, no, great. I'm excited for the next few videos to come. I mean, it's exciting, fun.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you.